Okay, welcome everybody. It is fabulous to have you here. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday evening, beautiful Saturday evening. Oh, damn it. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We had such a smooth start. Take a couple of nice deep breaths, just finding your space there, wherever you're at. I hope it's a comfy chair, couch, bed, whatever it is you like. And make a connection from the base of your spine to the center of the earth. And just postulate if it's that is so. And it can look like anything you would like. A tree trunk is fabulous. You sit on the trunk of a tree. The tree roots go all the way down to the center of the earth. That's a great connection. It can also look like a waterfall or a beam of light. Or a tube. Whatever you would like it to look like is fine. Just make that connection. Between yourself and the center of the earth. This connection to the center of the earth is what allows us to easily release energy. So we'll have some fun with that tonight. Just get comfortable and relax. Allow your body to get quiet. Perhaps it could not need anything for the next 60 minutes or so. This grounding connection allows you as spirit to come more fully into the physical body, which allows for better communication between the body and the spirit. And it really is the team, your team, that is a great team for you. It's in the spirit realm, in our spirit, where we have the answers. We have all our answers. But sometimes it's hard for us to connect to that. And so tonight we're going to play with that a little bit, have some fun with that. So just notice this space, this grounded space of yours, and just notice if it feels different. Just enjoy it. Just relax and enjoy. So we're not quite 6 months into the year, and it's been a pretty exciting year so far. Apparently some folks in 2019 decided that it was boring and dull and wanted to spice up 2020. And that wish has been granted. So welcome. It's the uncertainty about what to come, that's the uncertainty about what comes next. Causes a lot of emotions to bubble up. Things that we might have previously been able to ignore with our busyness, we are no longer able to ignore. And sometimes those emotions can feel like a great flood. The same thing is happening to the vast majority of the people on the planet right now. And it's pretty amazing that we have so many people going through, having the same experiences at the same time around the globe. That doesn't happen all that often. So we have these emotions come up, and sometimes we're not sure how to deal with them. So maybe some of you are experiencing some fear, maybe fear as an example. And sometimes we can get overwhelmed with that fear. And what we learn is that the fear that you may be feeling is not all yours. You're likely picking it up from other people, sensing it from friends, coworkers, family members. And that is what can feel overwhelming at times. Fortunately, luckily, we have these fabulous grounding cords, and other people's feelings, other people's energies in our space that we're feeling are easily released through this grounding cord. So I'd like you to just visualize a brick or a rock or whatever you would like it to look like. And we're just going to take this object and allow everybody else's fear to go into this object, into your brick or rock. You can put a magnet in if you like and let it attract all the fear energy that's in your space that belongs to someone else. And then you can just drop it down that grounding cord and watch it fall. Boom. And you can create as many of these bricks as you would like. You can create a second one and let it go. Maybe make one for your family. Make one for your friends. And just let it go down that grounding cord. And you might notice a shift in how your physical body feels. You may feel some relief from letting that go. Once you release everyone else's energies around fear, that feeling of being overwhelmed begins to dissipate. Now, if you're standing in front of 6 inches in front of an angry lion, all the fear that you're feeling may well be your own. But in normal circumstances, this is how it goes. We tend to take on other people's, and that's what can overwhelm us. Energy flows easily like water, and it is happy to be guided by you. And so just intending to have it go down your grounding cord will allow that to happen. So now that you've released all that, it's just your fear. Isn't that great? Well, let's take a look at it. Denying it's not there, denying it's there doesn't work. We can't do a negative. Has anybody ever told you not to laugh? You know, you're going to a funeral, don't laugh, don't laugh. Has it ever worked? No, because we can't do a negative. So we have to give ourselves something else to do. So put a bubble out in front of you, just create a little soap bubble and put it out in front of you and allow that fear to go into that little soap bubble out in front of you. And again, notice that it's real. It's a human condition. It happens. You can acknowledge it, accept it. Repressing it doesn't work. But just look at this fear kind of objectively in this little bubble out in front of you, and what's it about? What's it about? Is it fear for your physical well-being? Of being able to take care of your yourself and your family? It might be fear for others. Is it fear of the unknown? Fear of getting sick? Just take a look and acknowledge. Yep, there it is. Yep. We can't process the negative, but we can give our body other options. When I feel fear about the uncertainty of it all these times, I remember that I have faith, that I believe there is a grand plan, even if I can't see it. So even if I can't control it, I trust the hands that it's in. Would I still like to know what's coming next? Absolutely. But I do remind myself that I trust the process, and that the process is always moving us forward. Because Lord knows we wouldn't probably do it of our own volition. But the process requires us to evolve and pushes us always towards our higher selves. And I can trust in that. If you have plenty but fear having nothing, a gratitude journal might be the way to go. It's not don't not worry. It's focusing instead on what you do have. If you have concerns about being able to take care of yourself or your family, from this grounded space, you can begin to consider options. Can you ask for help from family and friends? Receiving is a tough one for us, interestingly enough. And as much as we feel good when we help someone else, whether it's a small thing or a large thing, it brings us great joy and satisfaction. We always feel better about ourselves. By receiving, we give someone else the opportunity to feel that way, to do something for us, and to feel their own empowerment, to feel themselves better about what they're able to do. Again, big things or small things. $1 million or a ride to the grocery store. Sometimes that ride to the grocery store is worth more. And so really looking at receiving in your life as allowing someone else to give to you. It's a huge gift. You can think about one or two things that might, practical things that might help you be better prepared or better informed around the thing that you fear. It's also good to remember that we humans expend a lot of time and energy worrying about things that will never come to pass. So acknowledging your fears and bringing them out into the daylight as we are now allows you to examine them and it's almost never as bad as we've made them to be in our minds. I mentioned a gratitude journal a few minutes ago. This is something I highly recommend. If you're not familiar with it, you simply write down 5 things each day that you're grateful for. And it really helps us train our focus on the positive. And sometimes those things they can be as simple as, I made it through the day. Hooray. Maybe it was a rough day. And all things are in play in your gratitude journal. It might be spiritual, it might be emotional, it might be material. But along with gratitude brings abundance. Being grateful opens ourselves up. Being able to receive opens us up. Take that bubble of fear that you were looking at and you can go ahead and just explode that out in front of you and let that go. So another fun emotion is anger. And we get angry when we feel out of control. We can get angry when we're in fear. Ever gotten mad because you got mad? Oh, I can't believe I got mad. I'm so mad. Doesn't help. It's funny, but it doesn't help. So let's do the same exercise with anger. I'm going to have you create another brick or rock. And let's put everybody else's anger in this brick or in this rock. And just drop it down your grounding cord. Easy peasy. Boom. And again, you can make as many of these bricks as you would like, as many as you need. They're free and readily available. And just drop those down your grounding cord, just letting everybody else's anger that's affecting you in any way, just letting it all go down the grounding cord. And now with everyone else's anger gone, cleared out of your space, Have a nice deep breath. Just have a couple nice deep breaths. Allow your body to relax a little more, to be a little quieter. And put up another one of those little soap bubbles out in front of you and just let that soap bubble fill with the anger that you have. Again, sometimes we get angry because we're afraid. And so we worked on that first, so maybe that's diminished some. But just take a look and what is it that's causing you to be angry? We had a pretty sudden change in plans. And I don't know about you, but I sure didn't give permission for this abrupt shift. I wasn't asked. Are you angry because you're out of your comfort zone? And it's not in sight. It's not like you can just go back there. We've had a permanent shift in our reality, at least one. And again, just noticing. We learn and grow through our emotions, and every emotion that we have is a valid emotion. Every emotion is communicating something to us, although our first translation isn't always correct. The kid in line at the drinking fountain gets mad because another kid cuts in front of him. He will tell you he's mad because the other kid cut in front of him. But he's really hurt because the other kid invalidated him, made it feel like he didn't matter or didn't exist. When you lose it because you spilled a glass of milk, it's probably not about the glass of milk, right? It's about something that happened previous to that. It's about you having an argument with someone or not getting enough sleep. That poor glass of milk takes it all. So again, from a grounded space, kind of a neutral space, looking and seeing what it's about. I'm angry because this shift happened. I'm angry because I don't get to have my weekly lunch with my friend. I'm angry because the activities that I took part in, I can't right now. And I'm not sure when I can again. So just acknowledging that, yep, that's right, that's right. And then deciding what you want to do. We can't do the negative. We can't say, don't be angry, because of course that doesn't work. But we can give ourselves other options. We can say, when I can't go play tennis with my friend, I'm going to go work outside in the garden instead. If I can't have the road trip I planned with my son, Well, instead, maybe we can go for a bike ride. So looking for those things that you can focus on that shift your focus from what it feels like you've lost to what you can create for yourself in this new time. You can look at this anger in the bubble and you can kind of poke at it and say, ha ha, there you are, I see you. You don't scare me. And as we kind of look at it objectively, its power diminishes. And when you're ready, you can just explode that little bubble. One of the reasons that we are here, everybody that's here on the planet at this time, is to have this experience. So it's helpful to know that you have the information that you need to work through it, to get through it. We chose to be here. We chose to have this challenge. We chose it for our own personal growth and our spiritual growth. So let's look at one more concept in this same kind of similar fashion. Most people on the planet, most humans on the planet, have the feeling of not being enough. We are not smart enough or tall enough or pretty enough or skinny enough or heavy enough or spiritual enough. We all have this feeling of not, or most, I should say, not all, most, of not being enough. And it comes up during this time as maybe not being up to this challenge. And I assure you that you are. You wouldn't be here if you weren't. This sense of not being enough is usually an accumulation of invalidations that we've received over our lifetime. So what I'd like you to do is just create another brick or another rock, whatever symbol you like to use there. And just like fear and anger, we do pick up on invalidation from other people as well. So the first thing we're going to do is going to put other people's feelings of inadequacy, their feelings of not being enough. Just put those feelings in a brick or in a rock. And just drop that down your grounding cord. Boom, boom, boom. And just make as many of those as you need, maybe from family, from friends, from coworkers, from people you don't know. And just dropping those down the grounding cord. And then I'd like you to create a brick, another brick, and to put all any invalidation that you carry with you, put that in the brick. You may not be able to release everything, but you can certainly release a lot. You know, when you were 5 and you got in an argument with your friend and she said you had cooties, might be time to let that one go. Just a thought. And then drop that brick down your grounding cord. And again, use as many bricks as you would like. And just fill those little puppies up. There's no reason to hang on to it. Drop them down the grounding and let it go. And then any of this invalidation that you didn't release into a brick, you can put that in a little soap bubble out in front of you. And again, just taking a look at it, acknowledging it exists. It has an impact on you. It's not craziness. It exists. It's real. You feel it. It's real in your space anyway. So just look at it, see what it's about. Is it again that 5-year-old telling you you have cooties? Is it the time that you broke something that belonged to your mom that she was really upset about? Maybe it was the time you cut your hair when you were 3 and you got some compassionate response like, oh, it's hideous. Just look at those things. Just look at that energy. Isn't that kind of interesting? What would you like to do with it? If you'd like, you could create another brick and put that whole bubble in a brick and drop it down your grounding cord. Might be one option. But just looking at it and acknowledging it, bringing it into the real world, bringing it into this grounded space, shifts it. These fears that we grow in kind of like mushrooms. They grow in dark spaces that we don't look at. And so bringing it out into the sunlight tends to shift it. And when you're ready, you can drop that whole bubble down your grounding cord, or you can explode it, whichever you'd like. And take 3 nice deep breaths. And just relax. Notice how you feel now compared to how you felt at the beginning of this meditation. You might be more relaxed. Perhaps your mind is a little quieter. It's important to know that you can create this space and do any of these exercises at any time. Anytime you're feeling overwhelmed, uncertain, confused, you can make this connection and release those things down your grounding cord. I'd like you to put a big giant gold sun up over your head and make it 2 or 3 times the size of your body. And the first thing we'll do with this gold sun is put a magnet in it. And just let this magnet call back all your energy into that gold sun from any place you may have left it. You know, a lot of people went to work one day and then they didn't go back to work for months. Some still haven't. You may have left a little energy at your desk or in your office, at your workspace, with friends or family. Just call it all back into that golden sun. And then I'd like you to put into this golden sun, the next time you're feeling fear, what would you like to shift that feeling to? What would you like to transmute that feeling of fear to? Maybe it's calm. Maybe it's quiet. Maybe it's grounding. Put that in that golden sun. There's an option for you. The next time you're feeling fear, perhaps it's a reminder that you can ground and release that. What would you like to have in that gold sun instead of feeling anger? Maybe a little amusement. Most of us are far too serious in this world. So maybe it doesn't mean that you're not angry, but you could be a little bit amused about it. Ever been kind of amused at what you're mad at? It's interesting. So bring in the feeling that you would like to have. What's another option for your body for you to have? And then just think of what would feel good to you. What would you like to have for the rest of your evening today, tonight, or for the rest of your weekend? Maybe it's just a mellow relaxation. Maybe you're excited to go run a marathon or bike 5 miles or go hiking tomorrow. Whatever works for you, whatever is satisfying to your body, to your spirit. And then looking at some things you can put into your gold sun when you feel like you're not enough. You could have the knowingness of knowing that you are perfect exactly as you were created. To understand that you as body and spirit are really an unbeatable team. And there's all the strengths and all the capabilities that you bring to every table you come to. We invalidate those and devalue those, but they are so valuable. So think of 2 or 3 or 4 things that are really your strong suits and put those also in your gold sun. Maybe you're a great organizer, a great listener, a great cook, a great friend. Is there anything more valuable than a great friend? Maybe there's a color you especially like. You could put that in your gold sun. Put in some joy, some love, some permission to be you. And as you take a look at that gold sun and you've got everything in there and all these great qualities about yourself and these great energies, these great options for you, for your body, you can pop or drop that gold sun and just allow it to flow into your body right through the top of your head, filling in your entire body with your life force that you've called back, with validating all the capabilities and qualities that you bring, as well as these new energies, these new options for yourself. And allow it to flow in all the way down to your toes, just filling in every cell of your body. This is one of the ways that we can give to ourselves. It's very nurturing and very nurturing, I think is what I was trying to say. It's a great uh, connection between body and spirit that allows us to do this. It's a gift we bring ourselves. And again, you can bring this gift to yourself as often as you'd like. It takes about 2 minutes. and it's free. And after you've completely filled in with your gold sun all the way down to the tips of your toes and the tips of your fingers and the tip of your nose, every little space is filled in. You could stretch and open your eyes and come out of trance if you'd like. You don't have to. You can just sit there with your eyes closed and we'll disconnect, and nobody in your house needs to know. They can still think you're on that call as long as you want. I want to thank you all for being here tonight. I also want to remind the people that aren't familiar that our beginning classes start, our How to Heal Yourself class starts again on July 6th at 10 in the morning and at 7 in the evening. We use 2 of the energy tools that we learn in that class here. And there are several more that we teach over that 6-week class. So we'd love to have, we do it on Zoom, just like this, video class on Zoom, and we'd love to have any of you join us that haven't taken the class before. Katie Heldman is here co-hosting with me, and she teaches the morning class and I teach the evening class. So we'd love to have you. You can go to the website and sign up. If you have any questions, certainly send an email to the center and we will answer those questions. I thank you all so much for being here this evening. I hope you have a great weekend. And Mary will be back next week, so we look forward to seeing you then.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. It's just our pleasure.